Hello, my name is Maddie, and my topic is about environmental racism, which my district currently faces a lot, and I know many other districts around me do too. Environmental racism affects health quality of lives of many communities, with making it an issue that everyone should understand and work to address, which hopefully I will one day, because I am right now, but hopefully it becomes a huge thing, but that people understand. I say that again, it's a social justice that should be addressed because many communities of color and low income neighbors suffer from this in their everyday lives. They are exposed to pollution, hazardous waste, and environmental hazards, leading to many health conditions and economic inequalities. An example of health conditions could be lung infection, cancer, and asthma. My Even if my grandpa did not live in LA, when he lived in Guatemala City, he had asthma, which is he had a really bad asthma. But as he moved to like the urban areas, which is like more greenery and all that, he no longer had asthma, which was great. Like, God bless, he did not have asthma, which is a horrible disease. Like, I know my teammates that do cheer, some of them suffer from it. So when we run, oh, they need a long break. So yeah, that just shows like him moving to a more greenery area. He was definitely needed and could cure so many diseases genuinely. And hopefully one day in my district there's people understand that us humans receive our oxygen from flowers or from greenery. A statistics that I wanted to bring up was back in 2021, ABC News came out with the Equality Report of Environmental. This statistic showed us that the percent living in areas at high risk of respiratory illnesses in Los Angeles metro area. White had 15%, Black 37%, Latino 28%, and all of color was 27%, meaning people of color most likely live in areas with higher risk of respiratory illnesses. Now, this was back in 2021. Most of us did not go out due to COVID-19. So this has increased throughout the years. The air quality in LA gets worse by day and day. Now, like I said, this was back in 2021. The statistics has changed. There wasn't a lot of people using their cars because I know I hardly went out. My mom hardly drive. My family hardly drive. So I know this has increased throughout the years. And even though those numbers seems really high, I know that now they're pretty high. They're higher. I know that for a fact. Especially like where I live, it's a Hispanic community, and once I go out, I just see a lot of trash. When I go walking, I see people spitting out their gum. I see people just throwing away their trash in the streets, and that's why I say it has grown throughout the years. And especially like downtown before COVID, it was dirty, but it wasn't as dirty as now that trash is literally everywhere. So that's why I say it has increased. And a topic I wanted to bring up was the Boyle Heights incident. It was a huge crisis. It's a huge crisis that happened back in, if I'm not wrong, like June, like the end of June, if I'm not wrong. But it's a crisis that has happened due to environmental racism when a warehouse in Boyle Heights was destructive due to fire. This warehouse contained 85 million pounds of spoiled food. This created odors in the warehouse which attracted animals, making them a vermin infestation. If you don't know what that is, it's like rats, it's full of insects, it's just full of animals just in there living there. There are many videos of rats just being there and other animals. The residents were concerned and argued why wealthier neighborhoods always receive help so fast but Boyle Heights doesn't. The district and the governor has not done much about the situation to stop the condition that the district is facing. People have reported smells like they report that the smells like it's just piled up trash. It just smells like piled up trash that has been there for centuries. It doesn't even smell like they could smell it from their house. Once they go out, it's 10 times worse. And even if they put air conditioner, no air conditioner saves that smell. And it's pretty concerning because it's my district. It's a part of my district. I'm District 1, so that's a part of District 1. And they have not done nothing to change this. It's still there. The food is still there. They haven't cleaned up the food. And it's probably going to take probably like months for this to dial down, but I wanted to go recently to a cafe near there. It's a Guatemalan cafe, and I could not go because of how badly it smelled, and it could cause me like diseases. It's really bad. But after this incident, I it just describes environmental racism. Like, without me telling someone this information, they should think it's environmental racism immediately, because communities like Boyle Heights are located near warehouses, breweries, and other industrial facilities, which expose their citizens to health hazards and great environment. Like I said, this is a health hazard. This is why I did not go, and it's very important that the people around it should not face this, because this can cause people's lives, and the fact that the government is not doing much about it just shows a lot. That is one of the topics that I wanted to talk about. But a second one, this is in South America. South America, there's a lot of poor countries. There's a lot of poor countries over there, especially small towns. They don't have the same resources as cities do. And a big factor that relates to environmental racism is water injustice in South America. Water injustice is a huge thing. It's even a huge thing in Africa. But I'm going to talk about this one. In the article called Between Flood and Drought, Environmental Racism, Settler Water Escapes, and Indigenous Water Justice in South America by Joel, he states that he maps new waterscapes and something he has realized the waterscapes produces environmental racism by limiting indigenous access to good water. This evidence connects back to environmental racism because it affects basic resources such as clean water, and marginalized communities, indigenous communities in South America are a huge example of injustice. It is sad to say that they face this, and it's been going on for years. When I go to Guatemala, I have done a lot of community service in poor communities, and I have realized that they face a lot of inequalities. And to conclude this, environmental racism is a social justice issue that affects the health and quality of life of many communities. The example I gave of pollution and health factors such as Boyle Heights shows us the environmental hazards that other communities might not experience due to their income or even race. As a community, we should come together and recognize inequalities we face and take action now before it's too late. Thank you so much. Have a good one.